Okay, so I welcome you to this review and preview of Italy match days 15 and 16, in which I will, first of all, of course, apologies that the midweek match days are getting a bit too much. And so I didn't record one in the middle of the week to preview match day 15. Whereby still I did make my daily Twitch stream, on which you may have been able to follow it, and still also on my Discord there is the possibility sometimes to find the proposals had been coming out. Still we can check here with the computer, compare the predictions and the possible bets. Just for the sides, first of all, we are not looking at the over-under. And so this is midweek's match day. And here we can check out whether or not the tool, which you can get your access to if you follow the link in the description, then you can get your own access to this tool and also get these figures here, these evaluations on your own screen. And in the process you can keep them and maintain your data and get all kinds of also further developments with a special offer. Now Atalanta 141 is the true price. The maximum was a lot lower and market was better than computer. So with some chance we may have had a bet on the draw or the away win or on the X and draw. So this one would have gone wrong. Fiorentina is also a bad one, 215. Here I would have proposed X or away win. Of course we can still check the stats here. I'm having the German terminology here. We could still check the stats in every of these games, any of these games, 16, 13 shots, 7-5 on target would still mean in some sense that Sampdoria were there for a fight. So it may have been a good bet even on the away side. But these we can count as 2 losses anyway. Verona, the draw, there I would have been very good, because 359 is a true price. The average was a lot higher, so we would have won this one. Salernitana, Juventus, most likely no bet. We could argue about the draw, but Salernitana, that we could have bet the draw. I don't think I proposed it. Juve also struggling, of course, and 144 is not way off market here. So most likely no bet there. In Bologna-Roma, I definitely went for Roma. I also saw the game and I have to say that was pretty unlucky. Of course, Bologna scored a goal, from then on rather defended. Roma had plenty of attacks, which you see here. Also the dangerous attacks, they were better. Shots were a lot better. Referees' decisions didn't go their way. But of course we needed 2 goals, so another bad one. In the Inter Spezia, we could argue 121. This was close to market, so no bet there. Genoa Milan was definitely a bet on Milan, which went well. So Milan won again. We were way below average and maximum on Milan, 154, a clear bet. Napoli, in fact, was a very poor one and a sad one, because Napoli were 2-0 winning and still gave away 2 points. On the other hand, in Torino, Empoli, we definitely did have the X2. Either of these had been indicated, and Empoli came back from a 2-0 deficit. So this was a very good one, winning a couple of units. In the Lazio Udinese, there was rather no indication. I checked that later. Even we could argue slightly about the draw, but it was a very curious one, with Udinese being 3 goals up, Lazio turning around, and more or less Udinese with a last gasp equalizer. So in the long run, I mean, the total, it was most likely very okay. because some of the bigger bets went well, also the Milan or so, but it wasn't real good match day for me in Italy. I mean, it was pretty even, I can say. And we see that, of course, one match day doesn't tell us the whole story, and we are not quite getting there. I mean, to make real statistics with that, but we still should check here and there whether or not the evaluations are going quite well, or are going okay. And this is, by the looks of it, was the case. I mean, with a Verona draw, so we win like 2.5 units, so we can afford 2 losses and still have a small plus. There was another good winner, but a couple of lost bets as well. Also, sometimes Roma, losing the Roma one was poor because they were the better side. We could still argue they were a goal down, and from then on took over, which is very regular these days. But also Napoli winning by 2, still table. And now Milan took over now at the top of the table, I'm pretty sure. Of course, we can check that here as well. And we also have all those comparisons, which is in fact here comparing with what we had expected. But Napoli are still top, okay, I was wrong. 36 points and Milan only 35, so they defended the top spot there. And all those green and red ones here are pretty okay because they are being compared with what I had expected. But you should rather have a look here or here. The draws are not that meaningful, because if you have too many draws, is it good or bad? Yeah, it depends on how many games you won. And with the total points, here we still have this green and red, which is comparing with what I had expected. So if this is green, it means they won more than expected. If it's getting red down here, it means less than expected. Obviously, the teams very low on the table have most likely less than expected. So it's turning from very green down to red still, but it's anyway comparing with what we expected, which makes a huge difference to others that just compare with the average, which we can also do. But here, yeah, it's getting a bit more complex there, but you will get used to it as soon as you start analyzing the games like that or getting your tool access, and from then on we can of course you will learn and you will get used to it. That's what I'm trying to say. And then the more you can squeeze out more information, and you have a very good assistance there, which is a lot better than what you get elsewhere. I mean, you get lots of stats and things like that, but here you have it, well, the comparison with what had been expected is one of the major assets. Milan, of course, we won't have a bet on Milan. If we would argue about Salernitana once again possibly being able to win a point there, it may be possible, because Milan are not fully convincing, though they are in full contention in the table. But we could argue about this draw here. What do we get? That's 6.94. I mean, here you see what it went wrong here with the draw and the Tottenham, but Torino, Empoli was a winner. But anyway, I mean, we could argue about this. Of course, we can check here because I've done. I've done that statistic model already. I've implemented, or I've gone through for Italy and Germany, and here we see, in fact, this is evaluating all the stats and all the efforts with a different method that I'm not going to explain here, but at least it would show me or us here that Milan, in fact, from all the top 7, Lazio are also considered to be one of the top 7 that are actually here replaced by Torino that lost a point, and we had Empoli, who are also doing very well, in fact, but Napoli, Roma, they are the ones. This is what you have to have a look at: who's playing well and who's not playing so well. So this is some kind of. We can also check out this if we want to make our bets here. Napoli are deservedly on top. Roma are getting a bit too little for that. Inter, of course, in good contention here and doing okay. Atalanta, even better than Juventus. Of course, we saw them struggling all season. Torino playing very good football, and I can witness that. And Milan, I always like somehow, but they are not quite at the top level, right? Fiorentina, very good campaign here. Bologna also doing pretty well, beating Roma on Wednesday or Tuesday. Even Sassuolo, once again, confirming their league status and doing well. Also Udinese, even better than Lazio. And from then on, it goes down a bit. Venezia, Salernitana. But Salernitana still even better than Venezia, right? I mean, this is just evaluating this with a different method, with a statistical approach here, and with the conversion rate and all that stuff. But I think it's a very reasonable ranking here, which is obviously a bit different to the ranking that I have here, which is based on rather on the results. This is something you can also see here if you get the tool access. And here we see Salernitana are worse than Spezia, and Venezia still a bit better because they have somewhat better results. But you also see that the values in general are pretty well to be compared here. Here, I mean 0.55, I mean they are all in this range down here, right? You can compare these values, 0.55, which is now here replaced. It means always the goals to be expected to score and expected to concede. This is even here, I made the difference between home and away, where of course home they are usually better than away. But this is taking the totals, and here it's the average. So you see that it's everything is pretty close to the top sides here, like Napoli, Inter. They have a bit better average than what they really played, and it doesn't make such a big difference. I'm recording the Italy in a minute. Hang on. Anyway, we are going to check the games now, so we have one more possibility to compare. Milan. So in this case, we would have to come to the conclusion, or maybe even the X2. We give Salernitana a chance. In some sense, do we? Yeah. Well. 4.63 is a very good price. Of course, we could also select those, but I would rather take the X2 then. I mean, it's a very good price, and of course we know that it's only a small chance. But in case we do so, and we have the confirmation by this statistical method, right? The Roma. Of course, I would in any case have to go with Roma, also in view of, well, I saw them play, and in view of the statistical method that we saw. So, I mean, if we are a bit more careful here, then we just take the plus 1/2 goal. So, opposing to this one, I would maybe choose the Roma and the draw. In the Napoli, Atalanta, I didn't even have a look yet, so I'm doing this while streaming here. I dislike this. In turn, I would love to see this over here. Napoli is a price that I still would have to go for, even though they dropped the points while Atalanta won 4-0. But we see here that Napoli are the better side, which is also confirmed with the ranking here, right? Which goes along. Maybe Napoli a bit exaggerate, but also Atalanta here a bit better than there. So this would go well. But 257 sounds like a 254, sounds like a very good price to me. And so we check out the next one, Bologna, Fiorentina. We saw that both had been doing well. The true price on the draw is 319, so we could even I mean, it's a very small edge, but we have plenty of games ending in a draw. I have lots of comparisons. We can get even better statistics to compare that, how well we are predicting the draws in many, when I can't do everything in this one go. So if you like it, you can go for the draw here. Then we have Spezia, Sassuolo. I would even, after I saw their statistic, this comparison here, that they played pretty well, and Spezia are pretty low, which is still okay here compared to this model. But if we get more than 2.0, well, it's very close, but we could even choose this. 2.01 is the true price, and we get 2.10. Venezia against Verona. I would say this looks pretty okay. I still might consider to go with Venezia, which is once again the case. I mean, we see here that they are the worst, and we also, but Verona are, well, 091 is actually very okay. We can compare this here. Where are Verona? It's 0.854. So they are a bit better here, while Verona, I mean, this is 062 compared to 055. So I could go down a bit with them. And Verona is 0.854, and here they played a bit better, 0.91. So if we do these small adjustments, then I would rather stay away, right? This is the what we get, the assistance by this statistical-based model, which will come anytime soon to improve this tool here. I mean, we have many opportunities here to adjust those teams. I mean, if I trust this model, then I would say, okay, maybe we go to 0.58. We can, because we partly say maybe the results matter a bit more, and then I go here, and then I save this, and of course, in some sense, I would still like to support Venedig or Venezia, but we can check out here now, because we have an adjusted evaluation here, and this is 329, 322, 329. Well, we still would have a bet, so in this case, then I would once again, I mean, I made this small adjustments following this guideline, this statistic-based model, and we still have a small kind of an indication, so why not give them a chance, and maybe even stay in the league, which is a very tough task for them. And in the fixtures now we have Sampdoria, Lazio. This looks pretty well assessed. I wouldn't choose anything then. In this one, 341, 372 looks once again a bit too much on the draw, but okay, that's good enough. In the Juventus Genoa, looks like the computer once again which would prefer maybe Genoa, which looks okay following this here. And I would once again, like in the Milan, I would in fact 127. They all would say, well, now is the time for Juventus to catch up in the league, but they are not playing so well. I mean, we know that still the squad is very okay. Anyway, I'm trying to keep it short. The 261 looks like okay on Empoli. No, computer says even Udinese are small favorites, which I do not fully agree to. But we know that they had been playing well, but not a lot better than, well, a little better, sure. But why would they be favorites here, right? I wouldn't accept that. Did I recompile it? That was my question. But maybe it's because Empoli are just winning their games on the road, right? We have to watch out for that. Let's check out here. At home they are like this, and away. So this is based on their you know that they won all their games on the road. This is why. Of course, I wouldn't go against them now with Udinese, but we know we have a trustful side here, which are playing well. And Empoli also confirming their good league position, but it's a matter of home and away. Still didn't fix this that I can't follow the... I have to stick here. But home wins, they have only 2, which is here, it's everything red, right? At home. This is everything red. And this is confirming at least what my suspicion was. They are no good at home. I'm sure that on the away, in their away record, this will be different. Home difference, and now it starts with the away, right? And on the road they are good. This is the point here. And the computer takes care of this. Market usually doesn't so well, but I saw that from the first game. I think they beat Juventus in the second, and then they won other games in away games. And this is the reason. At least we know why in this case. So I would stay away here because I wouldn't like to go against Empoli. We have some good reason. If you like it, you can choose it, but I'm not going to do it. But anyway, you see here that computer is pretty sensitive for that, or sensible. What is the better word? In the Torino, it would maybe once again try with a Cagliari, but here I would stay away after I saw this. Torino, I mean, I saw that visually because I was watching their games, a couple of them, but of course, when you watch it, you don't get the stats right away, and you don't turn this into an evaluation. You just say, oh, they look good, but you still have their ranking. And here it proves that they had been playing really well, so we have some scope for adjustment. Cagliari are pretty bad, in fact, and although they gathered a couple of points recently, and I would still hope for them somehow, but I think computer is a bit wrong here. I mean, we could maybe once again, we could even go for the draw, because this looks like the possibility, because Cagliari selected plenty of draws very recently. Let's check out here. You can see that, and if you click on the game itself, draw, that's what I meant, right? They also drew but before that 7 games without a draw, and they had 4 losses, but now they somehow stabilized. But still, I would disapprove somehow because of this. And they had been playing well, right? And Cagliari not so good, and we see that once again here. If we look at this teams, that computer says 0.664, so we have some space for adjustment here. And in Torino, in fact, I would have to adjust here at least to 0.95 to at least reflect these clearly better efforts they had. And then if I recompile, I would at least have Torino favorites here, which is the least I have to do. And I see that there's still some... did I not find the button here, or what happened? Or did I not store it? Oh yeah, now it went the other way around, and this looks fine to me. I mean, still the draw would be indicated, and there is some reason in that. Still, I would disadvise. My camera is frozen, and thank you anyway. I'm gonna leave you now. Thanks a lot for watching, and comment on the games what you think of the tool and so on, and ask your questions, and of course get your access, and subscribe to my channel, and all you can do here. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.